Hello everybody. We are just about to get started on a really crazy adventure. We're going to be doing distance learning. It's not exactly an online class, and you're like, what's the difference? Well, an online class is a little more planned out. We are going to take our face-to-face class, what we are doing, and just do as much of that as possible in a remote setting. And so I'm going to be trying out different tools. I'm going to try to use tools that are reliable and that work as much of the time as possible. And so right now I'm testing out YouTube. I've used it before, but just familiarizing myself with getting the videos made, making sure that you can see the board in this setup, and getting them into a format that is easily seen by you all. All right, so make sure that you all are ready for this, that you have the right mindset, and that you're ready to go, because you've already put in a lot of work and I want you to be successful. And so you've got to be ready to adapt and to try things and to let me know when stuff's not working and to ask questions. Asking questions is going to be really important. All right, so I thought it would be good, since we have an exam coming up, to go ahead and review an example, which I have on the board here. We have two blocks, A and B, and two ropes. One of the ropes is at an angle, and we are supposed to find T1 and T2. So what do we do first? Well, we pick what we're going to analyze. We could do either A-B system, or we could do A, or we could do B, but we cannot, we don't have to do all of them, but we need to do one of those at a time. So we'll say A-B system. We'll say there's this force T1, which is at the angle. We've got our normal force. We've got the weight. And actually that's it. There's no friction. Thought about putting friction in the problem and I decided not to. And so those are the only forces acting. So we can sum the forces in the y, well, we don't need to do the y direction, I guess, but we can do in the y direction. We can sum the forces in the x direction. We have T1 cosine 20 degrees, because this part, this T1x, is adjacent to the 20-degree angle, equals mass. And which mass do we use? Well, right now we're analyzing the system, so we use the mass of the system, which is 4 kilograms times 5 meters per second squared. And so this is T1 equals 20 newtons divided by cosine 20 degrees. And I don't have a calculator right with me, but you can find out what that is. And then, how do we find T2? To find T2, we do need a new free body diagram, because this one does not have T2 on it. And one thing I was noticing in grading quizzes and homeworks and things is that your second law equation, a lot of times it doesn't match your free body diagram. Really important that these two different things here are showing the same thing. Don't put forces here and not put them there, or vice versa. They need to match exactly in terms of the x direction or y direction, whatever it is you're analyzing. Next, we'll do B next. We could do A. A would actually be a little bit easier, but I'm going to do B because it's the more challenging one. We have T1. We have the normal force. And this was the weight of AB. This will just be the weight of B. And then B also has A pulling on it, which we can say T sub A. And that's a tension because it's a rope. I saw sometimes in the homework you all were putting in tensions when two blocks or boxes were just touching each other, but that should be just the force of like A on B or something like that, which is really, it's a normal force. All right, so for B, we can sum the forces in the x direction. So we can say T1 cosine 20 degrees minus T, that's not supposed to be TA, that's T2. Sorry about that. Minus T2 equals WB times A. And so T1 equals, let's see, 3 kilograms times 5 meters per second squared. Make that negative plus T1 cosine 20 degrees. Okay, and then it's just a matter of plugging in these numbers into your calculator, and once you have a value for T1, you can put that in there and then plug those numbers into your calculator. And that's all there is to it on that one. A good thing to do while you're getting ready for the exam is to go ahead and draw a free body diagram for just A and calculate T2 as if you don't already know it, and see if you get the same thing that you get down here.